Well, apparently in Carlisle, they had 2 times they tried to put the Big Lie, Jeremy Corbyn, the Big Lie, the film on, and twice they were turned down after quite a late notice, no, hardly any notice. And then they found a place last night in Carlisle. If anyone was at the screening in Carlisle and would like to talk about what happened, please put your hand up and message me. It'd be great to hear. So can you tell us what happened last night? Did it go on? Did it get screened?
Yeah, it went ahead. It was very, very good. We had a really big turnout. It filled the venue. If we'd had more people, they wouldn't have been able to get in. We had about 110 people. Really, really good reception to the film. Really good discussion afterwards. It was just excellent. And we'll have to give thanks to the uber right-wingers in Carlisle Labour Party, who banned it first time, then managed to influence a second ban. Then they didn't influence the third place we approached. And I think they effectively doubled the audience because of the news coverage that we got in the local newspapers. So thank you very much to the Labour councillors.
I've got someone else who was there. Hilary Snell, are you there?
Yeah.
Hilary?
I am here, yes.
Oh, right. You were there too, were you?
I was, but right. I thought Peter wasn't going to be here, so I just wanted to let you know what the process had been and all the dreadful shenanigans that had gone on. It was a brilliant night, and there were people there that I had never met before that were new to me, which was great. And the film was great, and the discussion afterwards was good. So it was really, and you know, the publicity that the people who were behind organising this managed to get into the press, like Peter said, did double who came. And we've even had things like someone from a coffee shop say, you can put the film on again in my coffee shop.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have known about it if it hadn't got in the press.
Can I just ask about Carlisle? Because I know I spoke to Michael Crick about Labour's selection thing, and he mentioned Carlisle as an area where a candidate wasn't allowed to stand and was imposed. Is that a problem do you think Labour will have a problem in Carlisle now they've put someone in like that?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know who they're going to get to turn out to work during an election. Very, very, very few people are inclined to support this element of the Labour Party. I'd like to put some context into the banning. There was 4 councillors on the community centre that we first approached. One of them in 2016, sorry, 2 of them in 2016 signed a letter by councillors condemning Corbyn and calling on him to resign. That was in 2016. We have another councillor who was a right-wing candidate for the Labour Party, parliamentary candidate, who spoke at a progress meeting just 2 weeks after Jeremy had been first elected, and said that she had significant differences with Jeremy Corbyn. I was at the meeting. I asked her what those differences were. She said there was too many. I said, well, just give us one example. And then she just shut up because she didn't have a bloody clue what she was talking about, other than she didn't like Jeremy Corbyn. And the 4th councillor was a Labour councillor who crossed the floor and joined the Tory party. These are the 4 councillors that were on the community centre board who banned a film about Jeremy Corbyn. Well, thank you very much. The councillor, the senior Labour councillor, when interviewed by the press, said, I don't have to give an opinion as to why I did it, and I'm not going to tell you why we did it. So he effectively opened his mouth and allowed his brains to fall out. And that was why we got that was the main reason we got such a good response in the press. People are sick to death of this dead hand of these people inside our party. And I'm saying that like strongly. It's our party. It's not their party. And our time will come again. I mean, I might not be around. I'm 76, but our time will come again, and we'll win the party back to socialism. We did it with Corbyn, and we can do it again. They're useless, absolutely useless. The second venue that we approached is a venue called the Old Fire Station. And the reason they call it the Old Fire Station is because it's an old fire station.
Really?
And surprise, surprise. And they've turned it into a music social venue. And we approached the people who run it, and they agreed that we could have the venue. Then they wrote to us and didn't give us a reason and said, you can't. Well, guess what? Guess what? They're tenants. And the people who own the lease is Carlisle City Council. So I wonder if that had anything to do with the second venue being banned as well. So they're just useless. They like the idea of being able to sign letters calling on the party leader to resign, but they don't like the idea that we would show a film explaining the plots that against the party leader that eventually got rid of him. They're useless.
Are you worried that you might be chucked out the party for?
Are you allowed to swear on this programme?
Well, we do. Well, can I just advise anyone with children to put your hands on their ears? Go on, you can swear now.
I'm 76. I've been in the Labour Party since 1962. 61 years. My first run-in with an investigation was when, at a constituency party meeting, I called out our local Labour MP in Gateshead. And I said he was a Tory, and why didn't he just cross the floor? And that was seconded, and we had a big argument about it. And it got in the press. And I was reported for bringing the party into disrepute. And a full investigation was launched against us. Now, the MP at the time, a bloke called John Horam, did me and other people who supported me a big favour. He crossed the floor and he joined the SDP. And that was against Michael Foot, the first left-wing leader in 50 years that we'd had in the party. And the SDP damaged the Labour Party massively in the following election. But he did me a favour because he, just before the investigation, he joined the SDP. So the investigation had to be dropped. Then he stood for the SDP in Gateshead and he got absolutely bloody hammered. Left Parliament, and then several years later turned up on the front bench of Margaret Thatcher. Our party has always been riddled with people like this, people who sneak in, people who hide their real politics and get themselves selected. They get selected in Gateshead. People talk about how right-wing the Labour Party is now. You haven't got a clue. You haven't got a clue. Our full-time secretary agent was a member and a leader of a thing called moral rearmament. Now, if people don't know what that is, look it up. It was a fully funded organization by the CIA. So we had a CIA agent in Gateshead, Labour Party, who organized right-wing trade unions such as the GMB to flood a selection conference to make sure that John Horan got selected. Now, that went on in the 70s and the 80s. I've seen it, been there, got the T-shirt. The right wing have got an iron grip on the party, but they'll not have it forever. Starmer's going to get elected. He is, and what's he going to do? Nothing. He hasn't got a policy to paint my front door, and there will be a massive reaction against him and the right wing. And many of the unions are now and will turn to the left to try and stay alive as trade unions. They'll last a few more years, but we'll get rid of them. And if they expel me, I'm 76. I've only got a few more years left. I can hardly.
No, you're
walk.
not. You've got plenty of years left.
No, I can hardly walk. I can talk, but I cannot walk, as the saying gets it. We'll get. Look, I was national chairman of the Young Socialists. I was the first youth representative on the Labour Party NEC. I've never stopped working for the Labour Party. They want to expel me, expel us. I don't care. I'll put a fight up. I'll fight them against expulsion, but I don't really care.